You should apparently just talk to a lot of people.
Yes.
If you just talk to a bunch of random people, they just give you crap. Still...
Yes.
Still, like... You still have a bit of plot.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. So my favorite food truck. Novella? I hate French.
No, wait, well, let me reword that. I hate the French.
One Ember Rose, and what do you have? Flamethrower Rose. I just knew it. I love how they get...
I was gonna say they're in ascending power.
Yes. Let's do the spiciest.
Also, this is another one of the, a team, of Flare Harem.
Yes. Ember Rose? Order? Pause this up.
Because it doesn't matter that they tried to blow up the world, I guess we gave them all a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite haunts. Forgive me, who's your friend? Hey, Vinny. Carter, newest addition to Team MZ. This gentleman's Vinny, a big shot. Whatever that. CEO, secretary and title.
This man looks like the type of person that would do that, crushing a soda can on their skull as an intimidation tactic.
Yes. Please accept my apologies on behalf of the company for any suffered due to urban redevelopment. Involving Prism's hours closed to visitors. Came to the city sites, Carter. This is truly sorry state of affairs. We're excited to see this.
I mean, the name Vinny, that is the most, like, stereotypical Italian mobster.
Getting back to work.
Yet, man had the weird hair bun thing.
Yes. Damn it. Because they're doing shit around the tower and it's closed off, and that was Clement's gym. Just like, I do feel kinda bad for the electric gym leader. Had to relocate him next to the construction Clemontic tent. Oh. He's literally bumming it. He's bumming it in the tent.
But then again, because it's been 5 years, it's like, well, it would still likely be him. It could also actually be his sister by this point.
My Joe! Okay,
yes. Was she even in the games? I actually can't remember.
Oh my god. Did you really just ask that?
It has been, like, 13
She
years.
was in the games, yes!
It has been almost 15 years. Because the electric gym in that game is the quiz. She's the one asking the questions.
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Bonnie's in the games.
I couldn't remember because I mostly remember the anime. Well, I say I mostly remember the anime, but any time a Clement X and Y comes up, I will always talk about one of the only episodes of X and Y anime I remember. Is that episode where they went to like a mirror dimension, and because it was a mirror dimension, instead of being a scientist, he was a wizard.
Yes.
Like that. That's so stupid. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Because it was a mirror dimension, so they were opposite.
Yeah.
So instead of a scientist, he's a wizard.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have a lot of problems. Like, a lot of problems with the Legends games. I will be fair and acknowledge there is a strange level of serotonin released from just seeing something ball. It's like it's just an animation of the main character walking and they just keep throwing Pokeballs as they walk.
Yes.
Hey, Punkaboo! I wish you were better. I want to love Gourgeist so much.
Oh, bitches.
This motherfucker is the biggest himbo to ever himbo.
Yes.
He's a bigger himbo than Mashal.
Thank you for your time and attention. If people of Lumios truly wish to coexist with wild Pokemon, why not get rid of wild zones and let Pokemon run free? Some of you might wonder why I suggest such a dangerous thing. Your concern is understandable. After all, while Pokemon are strong, they can be scary. But please, put your worried minds at ease. Simply join the Fist of Justice and watch your Pokemon battle prowess skyrocket. Also, if a wild Pokemon crosses me, I will suplex it.
You have no idea what this man does.
Yes.
That's why
That's
why I'm like...
He literally said take on Pokemon in hand-to-hand combat.
Yes.
Fist of Justice.
That's why I said, I'm like, this man is the biggest himbo to ever himbo.
You in the back. Would you taste my strength? You understand? What the fuck?
Why me?
Probably the 5th strongest disciple. Okay, Fist of Justice. Yeah. Okay, fighting type. Fighting type.
I know you don't want to use the rocks because of it being adamant, but in this scenario,
yes,
it's not in your team, so you can't use it.
No.
Wouldn't it literally quad resist?
Yes, but here's the funny thing: I can growl, knock your attack. Oh, damn it! Yeah, that was technically under level. It's fine though.
Oh, not just under level. It was using Rock Smash, and
yes,
I'm pretty sure Rock Smash.
It's fine. I don't give a crap.
I think Rock Smash still. Well, a funny thing because I've watched so far ahead because
beyond the ropes.
Well, a funny thing because I've watched so far ahead, and unless they're like unless there are specific scenarios that break this, the funny thing is in this.
Hold on. I'm gonna be a dick. I'm an ass, I know.
Something really funny, and this is why I wanted to watch really far ahead and stuff so that we won't have a moment of being, like, confused or misunderstanding how the game works. Is something really funny. Now, I have no idea what would happen if you were in a scenario without revives, unless you could literally pull crap out of your boxes, but in this game, again, unless there are specific scenarios that break this later, which I don't know if there are, when all of your Pokemon faint, it is actually not a loss.
Yes.
Because the trainer has to get hit.
Yes. Burn moves.
So, if every thing faints, you actually can revive them.
Yes, Curzon. But one, I don't care about losing some stuff. We're not Nuzlocking. I will pump.
Well, most of that shit is going to be temporary members anyway.
That was my point, yes!
Yeah.
Changing moves? Yeah. Change what moves you want to have access to. I will take my leave.
I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Fighting types are weak to flying, they're weak to fairy, and they can't hit ghost types.
They're weak to psychic, flying, and fairy.
Yeah, So yes, routes would be quad resist.
And because of that, fairy resist, psychic
resist. They can't hit ghost types.
Flying resist, and then I can never remember which way this goes unless it's both. I think bug resist as well. It's either they resist bug or bug resist them. I can never remember.
Pokemon.
Or let's see, are any of you terrible nature? Actually very good nature. You want adamant for your Gyarados.
You mean cracked out of it? Need to do the caveat. We explain this every time. Gyarados has a high attack stat, so adamant bolsters that attack stat. But if you get Jolly, you can boost your speed.
Yes, but everyone has determined in this
game damage is better than this.
Speed is apparently worthless because the rate at which speed affects
moves recharging almost doesn't matter.
Is apparently negligible. It is way more dependent on the power and accuracy of the move.
I know this.
Barbarical, special defense, speed down. That's okay, I guess, because that thing was already kind of slow and speed is trash anyway. And then you're the same shit. I guess that's also kind of okay for Watchog, because Watchog was mostly annoying statuses like Hypnosis and Confusion, but statuses are kind of like booty cheeks in this game.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Booty.
And I'll just continue on with the plot until I get the whole side quest. I get to the point where I have to do a side quest because that's when the map in its entirety basically opens up. Flamethrower.
Given what you were probably looking for, it doesn't last night. 5% chance, Carson.
So bullshit.
So you're just gonna have to go back.
So I'm just going to have to go forward and back and forward and back.
Yes. Thought I would check things. I'm going. This one. Damn it. This is why I check things. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Cool.
I just noticed that woman's hair.
Are you talking about
the woman at the food stand with that color scheme? It's very Hisuian Zoroark.
A lot of people point that out.
Yes.
A lot of people point that out, so... now I'm definitely stuck in the plot.
So you go to the bureau. Clemontic tint on.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is this person a mime? Because they look like they were doing a mime shit.
Mime, Mr. Mime!
Now, I know this only works in English because its English name was Mr. Mime, but was Mr. Mime in X and Y? Because that's when they really...
Wasn't it?
I don't remember. I want to say yes because it got the whole fairy subtype thing.
Wasn't it?
I'm just going to assume yes because it would be really weird to give a man the fairy subtype and have him not be available.
Hold on. This is why you check a bunch of bullshit.
So going to save. And I have the benefit of hindsight. So if this is all fighting, we're going to run with the basically 4 times resisted. Those punches are going to bounce off me. It's gonna be like punching a pillow.
Mr. Mime! Reflection Cave.
Is this only voice and can be
Reflection Cave.
of course.
What?
I said of course.
If you wanted Mr. Mime, Mime Jr. is... Oh, that's a Reflection Cave.
I'm gonna peck you. Peck you with my pecker.
It's in the game.
That, like I said, that made...
I thought so!
Because I was like, wait, I remembered it getting the fairy subtype thing, and I was like, I don't remember any weird fact of a Pokemon, of like a Pokemon being added in like X and Y, in like basically Sword and Shield or Sun and Moon. It's like, oh, when this thing came back, they gave it the fairy type. They haven't done shit like that. It also, again, makes sense because of the whole it's a mime, and it's in France. I wonder if they had thought of the regional variant thing sooner. Would we have gotten a much more clear, like, a mime version of it? Because, while the English name is Mr. Mime, it kind of looks more like a clown. I would have liked the black and white, like I said, much more, like, clearly mime version. I believe Mr. Mime's Japanese name is Barrier.
Hold on. There will be a beat. There it goes.
Nah.
Charging my phone, no one on the YouTube side of things will hear that.
Because like, people complain about...
Direct capture.
People complain about, like...
That sound. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, I thought this topic would also be generally pretty interesting because we keep talking about stats and stuff. How do you feel about this game also not having abilities? Because I really do feel like that does make the game infinitely worse. And that does limit a lot of Pokemon. Because abilities are a cornerstone of modern Pokemon. And I feel like a lot of Pokemon effectively lack their identities because they basically can't use abilities that heavily influence how those Pokemon are normally played. I know some abilities would have been kind of hard to implement in this battle system, and this battle system is still miles better than Legends Arceus, but I still feel like no abilities is a detriment, and to truly make a battle system like this work, you need a full moveset And you need abilities, because so many Pokemon would be way more useful and way harder to deal with if they had abilities. Because a lot of Pokemon are actually good counters to stuff when abilities exist. But without abilities, that means a lot of Pokemon kind of suck. Even if some of those Pokemon are only good because of their hidden abilities, I still feel like having abilities would have been better. And this is why I wanted to talk about this and ask, because it's my one big problem with this game. Because Legends Arceus was the same way. No abilities, and I feel like that limits team potential, because so many Pokemon would effectively be really good if abilities existed, because then you could actually have a good range of unique nonsense, because a lot of Pokemon are basically super useful when abilities exist, and without abilities, those Pokemon kind of suck. Or at least not as useful as they could be, because an ability can be half the reason a Pokemon is useful. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because abilities are just another tool in a Pokemon's kit. So without abilities, you lose a lot of utility, and some good Pokemon become worse, and some mediocre Pokemon effectively become kind of unusable, but a lot of Pokemon are actually quite good, even if their use cases are kind of limited. It still gives that Pokemon a lot of extra utility. Huge power on Diggersby did make Diggersby a very weird Pokemon, because it could be quite useful. And I think a lot of abilities are super nice casually, because the problem a lot of people have, they think about competitive, but I will also think about casual use, since a lot of the slightly worse Pokemon often have good abilities that would make them useful casually, even if the Pokemon are not the best in competitive. I think about competitive a lot, but even I would basically say, from a casual perspective, a lot of kind of middling Pokemon are useful in a casual playthrough, because they can have good abilities that are somewhat useful in certain scenarios. And a lot of the best Pokemon in a generation are often Pokemon that I basically do think casually are pretty good and have good abilities and movesets where you could use them in a playthrough, even if those Pokemon are not crazy good competitively. Using them on a team is not a detriment, and that's where I think abilities are often way more important. In a casual playthrough, a good ability can save a Pokemon, and I feel like that goes a long way, because that gives you a lot more tools. And I feel like some of the best Pokemon in each generation are carried by abilities that are quite useful, even if the Pokemon is not the best from a pure competitive standpoint. Just having a good ability can single-handedly make a Pokemon useful, and you can build a team around specific Pokemon because their abilities are useful in certain scenarios. In Sword and Shield, I talked about Cinescorch, and I used one with Flash Fire because that makes fire an immunity. And the game would use fire moves because Cinescorch might not be Flash Fire, and fire is neutral. So the game basically has to test if you're immune or not. If the best move the game has is a fire move, it will use that fire move because fire is neutral and you're not immune to fire. And then it will realize you are immune to fire, and then that will force the game into using its other moves, and those moves are less useful than whatever fire move it clicked. This also basically lets you swap into fire moves for free. That's always a good bonus, but essentially this is a perfect use case of what I basically was trying to describe. You have a Pokemon that has an immunity to fire, but that immunity is driven by its ability. So the game would basically see that fire is neutral, and it will click fire moves and then realize it can't. So you basically have incredibly simple ways to abuse that, and without abilities you can't do that type of nonsense. And that's basically what lets kind of weird Pokemon actually be useful in a casual playthrough, because gaining weird immunities due to abilities and stuff is always going to be randomly useful, especially on a Pokemon where those immunities would otherwise be a neutral hit. The game will always test your abilities by attacking you because it knows you might have the one ability, but it's not sure. The game is actually programmed to test stuff like that, see if you have an immunity via an ability. If the game is trying to do certain types of damage, once it realizes you are immune, it will change strategies, but the game needs to test that. So you can force the game to wasting turns, which is cool. Without abilities, none of that works. But I need to stop rambling. This has gone on a while. I think my point is solid. Abilities really do make Pokemon more usable and makes Pokemon more interesting, because even the worst Pokemon can often be good enough to actually use in a playthrough because it has a good ability and moveset that lets you take advantage of something. I don't know what that something is, but you can take advantage of that something. It depends on the Pokemon. But even so, my point still stands. It gives you a lot of extra options that effectively don't exist in either of the Legends games, and that bothers me. Anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope we come back someday. See you later.